When learning about patterns of inheritance, we first learn of the dominant recessive interaction of alleles, called Mendelian inheritance. However, most traits are not controlled by the simple dominant recessive relationship. As we'll see, there are other, more complex modes of expression of genes that look beyond simple Mendelian genetic patterns, creating a wide variety of phenotypes. More common modes of gene expression are incomplete dominance and codominance. However, it's important not to confuse the two, as incomplete dominance is when heterozygotes partially express each phenotype, and codominance is when heterozygotes fully express each phenotype. An example of incomplete dominance can be found right outside in flower and petal colors. Let's say that the R allele encodes a red color and the W allele encodes a white color. A cross of a homozygous red and a homozygous white flower produces 4 RW flowers. None of these flowers are the color of either of their parents and are actually the intermediate color pink. Compare this to an example of codominance, human blood type. For simplicity's sake, let's say that there are A, B, and O alleles. Now, what happens if a person with a genotype AO mates with a person with genotype BO? The children could be AB, AO, BO, or OO. A and B are completely dominant over O, however codominant to each other. So if you have AB blood, your blood will have both the A and B antigens associated with those two alleles.
Similarly, multiple allelism occurs when a particular trait is determined by a gene with one or more alleles. For example, in bunnies, fur color is genotypically determined by multiple alleles, which can result in phenotypic expression of those alleles through the color of their fur. Bunnies can phenotypically be brown, chinchilla, Himalayan, and albino for fur colors. As seen in the diagram, each trait is determined by a certain combination of alleles in a particular gene, in this case, the fur color gene.
Polygenic inheritance is when multiple genes control a single trait. This means that there is more than one gene that is responsible for a given phenotype. Traits that are controlled by polygenic inheritance are called quantitative traits. Quantitative traits are traits that have a wide range of possible phenotypes, and not just one or two. For example, human skin color is a quantitative trait controlled by 3 separate genes. Each gene has 2 alleles that control one pigment of skin color. The 3 genes can produce 6 pigments of skin color, and the more pigments a person has, the darker their skin is.
Gene by environment happens when phenotypes are controlled by interactions with the surrounding environment. This is caused by the genotypes reacting in a different way to differences in the environment, so the phenotype can be controlled by the environment to an extent. A good example of this in humans is the height of individuals. People get the alleles for how tall they are from their parents and other relatives. However, that person's height can vary based on the amount of nutrition they receive during periods of growth. The environment plays a role in how tall the person can become as an adult. Many genes exhibit characteristics of several of the terms mentioned in the video. Genes can be affected by the environment and be a quantitative trait such as human height. Blood type is an example of both codominant genes and multiple allelism. Simple dominant recessive Mendelian patterns of inheritance are rare compared to the other relationships between genes. These patterns of inheritance allow for variation in populations and make the world unique.